All information is gathered through bulbapedia.com. Check them out, link is in the description. Hey everyone, it's DKGM and welcome back to the Pokedex. In the last episode, we took a look at Pokemon 61 through 90, and in this episode, we're going to be going through Pokemon number 91 through 120, going from Cloister to Staryu, and yeah, it's another evolution that'll be in the next episode. Yeah, whatever. So I hope you all enjoy. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get started. We'll start off with Pokemon number 91, Cloister. Cloister is a black pearl-like Pokemon. It is encased inside a light gray shell, which is surrounded by a second jagged blue-violet outer shell casing. It has one barb-like spike protruding from above its head. It has multiple canonical horns on its outer shell. Its shell is harder than diamond, but spikes and even harder tidal currents that will affect its size and sharpness of these spikes. On its pearl-like face has two white eyes and mouth. Aside from its face and head, its internal anatomy has never been seen. Gastly has no true form, due to 95% of its body being poisonous gas. However, it consistently appears as a black spherical Pokemon surrounded by a purple haze. It has wide pink mouth with two visible fangs. Though its eyes seem to be extend past its round body, visible eyelids surround them. It produces a giant sweet smell. Toxic gas surrounded by the main body can induce fainting and suffocation, and is capable of enshrouding an enemy of any size. Its gaseous form makes it one of the lightest Pokemon, tying with Haunter, Flabebe, Cosmog, and Kartana. Haunter is a purple Pokemon with a gaseous body. It is a round head flanked by three spiked protrusions on either side. It has triangular eyes with small pupils and a mouth with a long pink tongue. The gases composing its head curve into its mouth to form several pointed teeth. This embodied head with three clawed fingers blow each blow in front of its body. Its body tapers into a jagged tail. Its gaseous form makes it one of the lightest Pokemon and can also float through walls. Gengar is a dark purple bipedal Pokemon with a roundish body. It has red eyes, a wide mouth that usually curls into a sinister grin, and pointed ears. On its back are numerous spikes, and it has smaller spikes on top of its head similar to a tufty fur. Its arms and legs are short with 3 digits on both hands and feet. It also has a stubby tail. Gengar has the ability to hide perfectly in the shadow of any object, granting exceptional stealth. However, Gengar's body acts as a heat sink. It also has a Mega Evolved form that you can get with the Gengarite, and has a Gigantamax form. Onix is a Pokemon composed of a giant chain of gray boulders that become smaller towards the tail. Its length makes it the tallest rock-type Pokemon. It has black eyes and a rounded snout. On top of its head is a rocky spine. As it grows older, it becomes more rounded and smoother, eventually becoming similar to black diamonds. Inside its brain is a magnet that serves as its internal compass. Onix tunnels under the ground at over 50 miles per hour, which causes tremors and a terrifying roar that echoes a long way. Drowsy is a bipedal Pokemon that resembles a tapir. It has tired-looking eyes, a short trunk above its mouth, and triangular ears with brown interiors. The upper half of Drowsy's body is yellow, and the lower half is brown. A wavy line separates the two halves. It has a round belly and short legs. Its feet are brown, except for its 2 toes, which are yellow. The bottom of each foot has a small round pink pad in the middle of it. There are 3 fingers on each of its hands. Drowsy is believed to be a common ancestor with Munna and Marshana. Hypno is a bipedal humanoid Pokemon that has yellow skin. It has a triangular ears with brown interiors, sleepy-looking eyes, and a large nose. On its neck has a rough white fur which is longer than a female. Hypno has 5 fingers on each hand and holds a pedemellum on its left. The pedemellum resembles a flat silver ring and is used for hypnotism. Hypno is never seen without it. It has 3 toes on each foot, which also have pink pad on the undersides. Krabby is a crustacean Pokemon with a strong outer shell protecting its small body. Its upper half is red and it has eyes and 2 small spikes on the top of its head. Its light tan arms are also connected to its upper body. Its lower body is light tan and doubles as a jaw with 2 fangs overlapping its upper body. Its hips are visible on the lower front of its body, connecting to its 4 long, thin legs. Each leg has a single claw-like foot. The main features of Krabby's body are the 2 large red pincers at each of its arms. Kingler is a crustacean Pokemon resembling a crab. It has a strong shell covers the outside of its body, featuring a red upper half and a light tan lower half. Its upper half is topped with 6 tall, thin spikes that resemble a crown. Its light tan arms are also connected to its upper body. Its lower half doubles as a jaw with 6 fangs overlapping its upper body. Its 2 outer fangs are much larger than the inner 4 and are roughly half as tall as Kingler's entire body. Its hips visibly protrude from the lower body to connect to its 4 long, thin legs. It also has a Gigantamax form that you can get from Gigantamaxing it. Pokemon number 100 is Voltorb. Voltorb is a spherical Pokemon that resembles a Pokeball with eyes and minus the button. On the top half is red while the bottom half is white. Because of its resemblance to Pokeballs, it is thought it was created when one was exposed to an angry pulse. This is supported by the fact that its components do not occur naturally. Voltorb is generally found in power plants and other areas with electric fields. It was first discovered in a plant where modern Pokeballs were invented. It is a violent temperament and explode if bumped or agitated. Electrode is a round Pokemon resembling a reverse-colored Pokeball with a mouth and eyes. On top of its head is white, while the lower half is red. For this reason, many trainers try to pick it up, mistaking it for an item. The Pocket Monsters Card-Ash trading cards depict Electrode as hollow. Many know it by the nickname Bomb Ball. Electrode tends to live in power plants where freshly electricity is being generated, which it consumes. As a result, it often causes blackouts. The more electric energy Electrode consumes, the faster it moves. Execute is a Pokemon resembling 6 light pink eggs, usually seen arranged with 5 heads in a huddle around a 6th. Each head has a slightly different facial expression, but each face has triangular eyes with tiny black pupils and a small mouth. Each shell has some cracks, and one member of the bundle usually has its yellow inside or brain exposed. More numerous cracks are a sign that it is close to evolution. Despite looking like eggs, Execute is actually more closely resembles the plant seeds. It is believed to carry genes of plants and other species. Execute is a tall, bipedal Pokemon that resembles a palm tree. Its body and legs are light brown with thin black rings, and its legs are thick with two-toed feet. There are light yellow paw pad on each foot's underside. It has thin green leaves sprouting from the top of its body. Executor has 3 to 6 brown, light yellow heads that resemble coconuts, each with different facial expressions. Each head thinks independently of the others, so it makes a lot of noise as each head speaks its mind. Due to the abundance of sunlight in the Alola region, Executor grows over 5 times taller than it does in other regions. Its neck is thinner and much longer, causing it to resemble a palm tree. This variant of Executor has a long tapering tail with 2 leaves and a 4th light green head on the tip. Cubone is a small bipedal Pokemon with a light brown hide that covers most of its body, except for its cream-colored belly. 2 small claws, one on each hand, serves as its thumbs, and 1 large nail on each foot to make up its toes. It has 2 small spikes on its back and a short tail. On its head, Cubone wears a skull of its dead mother as a helmet. Because of this, much of its actual face has never been seen, except for its triangular black eyes and a small area surrounding them. The skull has 2 rounded horns on the top of its head and a tooth-like point on lower sides. Marowak is a bipedal Pokemon with light brown skin and a cream-colored underside. 2 small claws, 1 in each hand, serve as its thumbs, and 1 large nail on each foot make up its toes. It has a short tail with a small spike near the tip. Marowak's head is composed of its skull it once wore as a mask. It can no longer remove the skull, which has become part of its body. The skull has 2-point spikes on the back similar to its ears and tiny nostrils on the top of its snout. Marowak's triangular brown eyes are also located in the skull. In the Alola region, Marowak was faced with an abundance due to its natural enemies, grass-type Pokemon. This harsh environment led its closest body with its friends, which is said to have created sort of a sixth sense that caused it to take a new form. Alola Marowak's body is black and has pale gray eyes. My favorite Pokemon, Hitmonlee, is a humanoid Pokemon with an ovoid body. Lacking a distinct neck and hand, its upper torso has an almond-shaped eyes with black space around them, and appears to have black nose and mouth. Primarily brown, it is cream-colored, segmented arms and legs. Each hand has 3 fingers and each foot has 3 clawed toes. The soles of its feet and ankles are circular yellow pads. Hitmonlee is an exclusive male species with no female counterpart. My second favorite Pokemon, Hitmonchan, is a tan humanoid Pokemon that is exclusively male with no female counterpart. There are 5 blunt protrusions on top of its head and has structures resembling pads over its shoulders. It appears to be wearing a light purple tunic and kilt, as well as red boxing gloves and light purple boxing shoes. In between the tunic is the kit is a small black area. As its appearance suggests, Hitmonlee specializes in punching. It is able to throw punches too quick to be seen with the naked eye. Luca Chun is a bipedal Pokemon with a round body and a thick, powerful tail. It has soft pink skin with curved yellow lines on its belly and a yellow ring marking on each knee. It has a thumb-like claw on each hand and a single large nail on each foot. There's a yellow spot on its palms and the soles of its feet. It has beady eyes and a long, prehensile tongue. This tongue is lightly connected to its tail. When it twitches, the tongue is pulled. At over 6 feet 6 inches, Lick Tongue's tongue is twice as long as its body. Sticky, smelly saliva coats its tongue, which causes a tingling sensation when touched and can cause rashes if not cleaned off. Coughing is a spherical Pokemon filled with toxic gases. It has vacant eyes and a wide mouth that usually has 2-point teeth in the upper jaw. However, a full set of teeth has been seen in the anime. Below its face is a cream-colored skull and crossbones marking. Several geyser-like protrusions, which usually release a mustard-colored gas, cover this Pokemon's body. Its purple skin is very thin, and overinflation can cause it to explode. Coughing creates gases within its body by mixing toxins with garbage and produces more gas in higher temperatures. Wheezing is a purple Pokemon consisting of 2 spherical heads connected by a thin tube with another sphere in the center. The heads differing in sizes and features. The left head is larger with prominent eyebrows, pointed teeth protruding from its lower jaw, and 2 flat teeth in its upper jaw. The smaller right head simply has 2 pointed teeth, 1 at each corner of its mouth. The larger head has a cream-colored skull and crossbones marking below its base, while the smaller head has a ring marking instead. In the Galar region, its appearance has changed due to the absorbing polluted air from factories. It has a gray body with the skull, crossbones, and ring changes the color yellow. Both heads have a hat-like tube located on top of them that consistently release purified air. Rhyhorn is a rhinoceros-like Pokemon with a body covered in gray rocky plates. Its underside and rear are smooth, and it has 4 short legs with 2 claws on each foot. It has a triangular head with narrow red eyes, 2 fangs protruding from its upper jaw, small triangular openings on the undersides, and a short horn from the tip of its snout. The female will have a shorter horn than a male. A spiked ridge runs along its back in addition to its rocky hide. Its bones are 1,000 times harder than the human bones. Rhydon is a large gray bipedal Pokemon with features similar to both dinosaurs and rhinoceroses. It has narrow red eyes and 2 fangs in its upper jaw. On the tip of its snout is a cream-colored horn, which is smaller on female than a male. There are several other spikes and projections on its head. On top of the spike that curves forward, 2 triangular points resembling ears on the sides, a wide wavy crest under each ear, and spiky ridges on each cheek. It has a cream-colored abdomen divided into 2 stripes by thin divots. A rocky plate in its chest slightly overlaps its abdomen. There's a row of spikes down its back, and it has a long tail with thin black stripes. Chansey is a pink opioid Pokemon with stubby arms and dark pink feet. It has tiny eyes and a 3-leg hair growths on each side of its head. The tufts on its hair have dark pink tips. On the center of its body is a dark pink pouch that contains a single white egg. The egg is said to be very nutritious and it lays several new ones every day. Finally, it has a short tail. Chansey is a female-only species with no male counterpart. A kind-hearted Pokemon, Chansey will share its eggs with injured people and Pokemon. This is the basis for its signature move, Soft Boiled. Tangela is a Pokemon covered by blue seaweed-like vines that obscure its face. There is a small opening in the vines that reveal its eyes surrounded by a black space. The vines give Tangela a round shape, but it is unknown what it looks like without them. Its vines are covering its fine hair and are always growing. If damaged or lost, replacements are grown. There is a pair of red boot-like feet poking from under its vines, but no visible arms. Tangela can ensnare and entangle anything that moves too close to its vines. The vines constantly jiggle and sway, unnerving enemies and causing a tickling sensation if ensnared. Kangaskhan is a large bipedal Pokemon that vaguely resembles a kangaroo. It has a brown hide with several raised patches and a cream-colored belly. It has large cream-colored ears, narrow red eyes, and a short round snout with 2 fangs in the back of its upper jaw. On top of its head is a thick black plate. There are epaulette-like growths over its shoulders and a row of spikes down its back. It has 3 clawed digits on each hand and a foot and thick tail. On its belly is a pouch that contains a baby Kangaskhan. Unlike its parent, the baby is light purple and has smooth skin. Kangaskhan is a female-only species with no male counterpart. It also has a Mega Evolved form that you can get with the Kangaskhanite. Horsey is a light blue seahorse-like Pokemon. It has red eyes, a long tubular mouth, and 3 spike-like fins on either side of its head. Its rigid belly and single dorsal fin are cream-colored. Highly adept in the water, it uses its dorsal fin to swim in any direction while facing forward. It has a tightly curled tail it can use as both a balance and an anchor when caught in a strong current. In safer environments, it uses its tail to play with other members of its species. Sidra is a light blue seahorse-like Pokemon with a cream-colored belly covered in rough scales. It has a long tubular mouth, narrow black eyes, and a fin-like ridge above each eye, and spiny pectoral fins. It also has a large coiled tail. It has a pair of dorsal fins with sharp cream-colored tips that exude venom. Sidra's venom is toxic enough to induce fainting in humans, but is prized among doctors of traditional medicine. Sidra can swim in any direction while facing forward by rapidly flapping its fins and tail. It catches its prey and spinning its body to create large whirlpools. Goldeen is a white fish-like Pokemon with orange markings. It has circular blue eyes with orange lids and prominent pink lips. On its forehead is a large horn which is longer than a male than on a female. It has a small wavy dorsal fin surrounded by an orange patch and long pectoral fins with orange markings at the bases. Goldeen's billowing tail fin is orange around the base and turns white towards the edges. Its tail is admired by many of its beauty and similarly to a ballroom dress. Seeking is a primarily orange and white fish-like Pokemon. It has round dark eyes, prominent pink lips, 2 small fangs, and a cream-colored horn in the center of its forehead. The female will have a similar horn than a male. Most of its body is orange with a patch of white under its mouth and along its underside. There are several black markings on its body, 2 thick lines under each eye, a large wavy patch on its back, and several speckles near its tail. It has billowing pectoral fins and a pair of tail fins shaped like butterfly wings, which are all white speckled with black. However, its dorsal fins pure white and rigid. And finally, we have Staryu. Staryu is a golden brown star-like fish Pokemon with 5 appendages. These appendages surround an exterior organ called a core. The core resembles a golden metal casing with a red gem in the center, which is held in place by a golden ring looped around Staryu's lower left point. If any of Staryu's appendages are lost or eaten by predators like Lumineon, it is unharmed and can grow them back with ease provided by the core is still intact. When the sun goes down, the core grows in its brightest. Many Staryu will float from the sea floor to the surface and align themselves with the stars of the night sky. But that's going to do it for this video though, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe more videos like this. And in the next episode, we're going to be going through Pokemon number 121 through 150. So that means we'll basically be finishing Generation 1. So I'll see you guys then.